Hey guys, it's Jen here again today with you with Tea and Tattered Things. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to look at a couple of my new Etsy listings, and we're also going to talk about how to brew the perfect cup of loose leaf tea. So first things first, tea. You can do this in a regular mug or a teapot, or I have this fancy little, it's a covered mug that has a ceramic infuser basket inside. My sweet mother-in-law gave this to me and I just love it. But what you want to have is a lot of space in your infuser. You can use I have these two, but you want to be careful not to overfill them because the leaves don't unfurl that way. Okay, so today we are drinking, this is a blend by Stash, their estate breakfast blend. I just got this. They had what was called their bed and breakfast blend and I loved it, and then they stopped carrying it, so I'm trying this one instead. And it comes in a fancy package, you guys. It's all sealed and it's really nice. So we'll go ahead and get this started. I don't really measure, I just kind of throw a spoonful in there and hope for the best. I like a nice stout cup of tea, so I tend to use a lot of tea leaves. And then you pour the boiling water over, of course. And the rule is that you put the tea in first and then you pour the water over. And I honestly don't know, I've never read a scientific reason for that. I don't know if it's just kind of like cereal, like you pour the cereal first and then the milk, because what kind of monster would pour the milk first and then put the cereal in it? Anyway, you want to have plenty of room for your tea leaves. Oh, and I am spilling. Lovely. You want to have plenty of room for your tea leaves to unfurl. And this brewing method where they're just kind of hanging out loose in the cup, it's actually called the agony of the leaves, because the idea is that you can, as the leaves unfurl, they kind of like twitch. Someone decided it looked like the leaves were being tortured. So that's a little dark for morning tea, but you want those leaves to have lots of time to unfold and get all that good flavor. Okay, we're good. That was just a little drip. Now I'm gonna set that aside. I usually set a timer for 7 minutes because, again, I like a nice fat cup of tea, a nice stout cup of tea. But if you don't like yours as strong, 3 to 5 minutes, just depending on personal taste. So while that is steeping, and this is not wet, you guys, so it's okay. And while that is steeping, we're gonna look at a couple of different things that I have going live on my Etsy shop. The first is a set of canvas mixed media collage blocks. I'm going to show them each to you. They are poppies. The set is called Poppies for Remembrance. So they're little. They are, let me get my ruler. They are 4 by 4 blocks, and then they are about 1.5 inches thick. So you'll see in the listing, I have them like just lined up in a row on my piano, but you can tuck them in a bookcase amid other things. You can stack them on top of each other. There are 3 of them. So this one says to be preserved, and it's just different scrap papers that I have collaged. Everything's been sealed with a matte medium. And then the poppy is paper. You can see it's dimensional. It's not flat against the canvas. It's been glued on top. So here's the third one. It says a memory to hold. So all of the poppies, they're kind of 3-dimensional, and there's also in the middle, you can see it best on this one, I had some art sand that I combined with acrylic paint to give that kind of texture in the middle that looks like poppy seeds. So please note that this listing is for the originals. They are not prints. It is the original piece, so they're going to be textured. It's not going to be flat. Like I said, you can see the poppy is sticking up. There's going to be torn paper edges because this is the original collage material. So these are on my Etsy. you can go check them out. And then I also have another journal that I'm going to show you. Now this one, it was kind of an experiment and I thought it turned out really well. I really liked it. Because if you've seen some of my other videos, you know I've been using salvaged books as covers and then stitching the pages inside. But I actually made this cover. I wanted a soft cover journal, something that was going to be slim and easy to carry because we're not always at home when we want to write down brilliant things. So this was kind of my solution to that. It's a cardstock. It's a heavy cardstock that has been reinforced with layered with additional papers, and then it's all been sealed with Mod Podge. So it's sturdy. You can hear it's very flexible, but it's still a good hard cover. I still wouldn't leave this out in the rain or anything like that, but it is a good cover. So for the front element, we have a Tim Holtz word band that says authentic. Oh, and this journal is poetry themed. I forgot to say, this is called Poetic Spirit on my Etsy shop. And it is created with a poet in mind. So whether you like to write your own poetry or collect poetry, this journal is kind of geared for that. So got some textiles and some paper. On the spine, we have this glorious sari silk ribbon tied with a couple of charms. There's a clock and there's a key. And I have that same ribbon at the top on some clips and on the closure. I just ordered this from, I think it was Sunkissed Silks, and it was just perfect. It's a little hard to see the colors on the video, but it's variegated with some pinks and some greens, and as soon as I opened the package, I knew what I was going to use this for because it was just so perfect. So this journal, like I said, it's soft cover. It's not real huge. It has 52 pages in it. This is the back. So, but there's still, again, plenty of writing space, plenty of space to add your own things, tuck your own things. So let's look inside. Here I have some Tim Holtz ledger paper that I have glued to the front. And this right here, this is a flip up that I have embellished with some lace. It tucks, it just flips up like so, and you can write whatever you want. Maybe you want to write like your name and email address in case you lose it, somebody can get it back to you, whatever you want right there. And then that tucks into the butterfly so it's hidden and embellished with lace. And then in this, it's also a pocket, and so I've tucked a tag and just a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera. I really loved the pinks and greens that were in the ribbons and on the cover, so I tried to keep that idea kind of going throughout. So first we have a paper doily, and then we have some sheet music. This is Kabalevsky Sonatina, I don't remember the number, but it has a pocket stitched on with that dusty pink color, and then this is a tuck spot with a piece of ephemera attached. Here I have another piece of ephemera clipped on with one of those, with a clip that's embellished with that sari silk ribbon. And then I included throughout this book several different poems. It was from an American poetry anthology. The paper was really thin, it was pretty old, so I backed them, I just stitched them onto some Tim Holtz paper so they would be more sturdy. But just kind of for your inspiration, there are poems tucked throughout. Graph paper, an envelope with some stamping, and then it has another of those poetry cards and just another journaling space that you can write on and then fold up. And I also have several of these bands. These are scrapbook paper that I embellished this one with lace. I think the rest are plain, but I just embellished the plain pages with that, but then it opens and you have another writing space. So maybe you have an idea and it's kind of, you know, personal, you want to write it down, but you don't want it to just be out there, you can write it there. I have nice stitched pockets. Inside this one, I have a glassine bag with another poetry card. This is Longfellow, The Tide Rises, the Tide Falls. It's not focusing, but I love this poem. And then I also have a flower die cut tucked in here. I wanted to add dried flowers, but I didn't have any at the moment, so I just added that floral die cut And on the other side of this page, we have a nice large pocket. I tucked a little piece of ephemera in here, a little poem, but you can stick whatever you want in there. Some book pages, nice side tuck with some tags. This is German poetry, Tim Holtz pattern paper. This is note paper with a little bit of stamping, and then some ephemera clipped in with a scrap of that same sari silk. This is some vellum. I just thought it was lovely, and green to me is such a creative color. I don't know if that's weird, but green just seems creative to me. So I put that in there. Some stamping. This is the center. We have another doily, and then that ribbon around the spine goes right through the middle. Keeping on, more vellum. I love that stamp. I just got that one and it was super cute. Another piece of ephemera with one of those silk ribbon scraps. German poetry. This is another band that you can write on and then clip back. Book pages. This is a belly band that I attached to the page, and there's a piece of ephemera and then another one of those poetry cards tucked in there that you can just, go on a little scavenger hunt. This is the pocket where the tea will go. Every journal and every purchase is accompanied with a gift of tea. Ooh, speaking of tea, mine's going to be really strong, you guys. Oh well, we'll get this finished. Band of paper. This is the other side of that envelope with another piece of ephemera and the final poetry card tucked there. Some more of that paper with that lovely dusty pink, and then we have Kabalevsky for the end and a paper doily. Okay, so both of these are active in my Etsy shop. I will put the links in the description of the video below. If you like what you see, then please like this video, please share, please subscribe to my channel. And I am hoping in the near future to do a set of tutorials soon. So leave me a message in the comments of what you would like to see how to do. Do you want to see how to make the soft cover? Do you want to see how to make a mixed media collage canvas like this? Shoot me a comment and let me know what you want to see. Thanks, you guys.